Welcome to another episode of Remember the Great Sports. This one I am just so excited to share with you. I recently traded with a longtime collector that I've known for many, many years on a forum that I've been on. And what he was looking for were just random cards, I guess you would say. And the biggest two names that I traded to him were Mike Moustakas and Eric Hosmer, which I had extras of those guys because I saw them playing in the minor leagues. Well, we went back and forth for a few weeks talking about what we wanted to initially do. And I'm going to start with talking about Hall of Famer Sam Jones. Well, this individual that I traded with saw Sam at like a golf tournament or something like that in Florida. And he said, hey, I saw Sam Jones and, he signed 5 of 5 cards or whatever it was. So I messaged this collector and I said, hey, what would it take to get a Sam Jones autograph from you? So this individual said, well, here's a picture of it. Are you okay with that? Because it's, it's got a little darkness there, but it really does show up nicely if you look closely at it. It's a nice autograph. You're not going to find a lot of photos of Sam Jones that aren't black and white. So I'll take what I can get. So we started going back and forth, and, he wanted about, 12, 15 cards out of my collection that I had signed. And we went back and forth. I said, well, I'm going to need a little bit more than that for Sam Jones. There was, a Randall Grichuk was involved. It was just some names like that. And I said, well, what else do you have to offer? I'd love to have some basketball autographs because where I live, we don't see basketball in the NBA. He said, well, here's a list of people. And I said, well, who do you got? So I'm going to show you these next two. And this was the finalized part of our deal for, 15 or so autograph cards of mine. I was able to get the Sam Jones autograph along with a very, very, very young autograph of James the Beard Harden himself. This is the pre-beard days of James Harden. So Jones and Harden were now part of this deal. And the final piece, the final part to make this deal finalized, Russell Westbrook. So I pulled off a trade to get Sam Jones, the Hall of Famer, which I know some of the younger viewers may not know, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. For some stuff that I, really didn't have a whole lot of attachment to. I had multiples of most of the guys that he needed, so it wasn't like I was giving up my only one. And he said, I have extras of Harden and Westbrook. I'm like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, are you kidding me? How do you have extras of those guys? And you can see that these are very, very early in their career, when those two guys were probably a lot easier to obtain than they are now in 2021. So I just wanted to share this pickup with you to say, holy crap, look what I just found. Now, if I were to send in stuff to Beckett or PSA to get authenticated, these two guys are probably at the top of my list. Now, I know with the NBA playoffs really heating up, the finals are coming up. I'm shooting this video after the Brooklyn Nets aren't in the playoffs anymore. So I just wanted to add a little bonus to this video and show off another autograph that I've had in my collection for probably about 15 years or so, maybe 10. And that just happens to be this Durant guy. This is a KD Texas Longhorns card that was signed circa his second year or first year in the league. And as you can see, Seattle Supersonics. So, how rare do you see this autograph? And I picked this up like Durant's rookie year or second year in the league. I've had this in my collection for years. So I just thought I'd throw this little KD autograph in here, because commonly when you watch the NBA, these three guys are always mentioned. And also, if you're an Oklahoma City Thunder fan, this is like the dream team right here. If I had a Steven Adams, which I do have an Adams, I guess I should have pulled it out. But if I had a Steven Adams showing here, you're looking at probably the 4 greatest Thunder players in the history of the franchise. So glad you joined me for another episode. I'm very happy to add all 3 of these, Jones, Harden, and Westbrook, to my collection to sit in my box next to my Kevin Durant. Hope you like this. Leave your comments below. Very excited to share this one with you. Happy collecting.